Hi, everybody. It's Megan Chaladis. Is that how you pronounce your surname?
Shanitas.
I don't know how I've never asked you that. I feel so rude. Chalidis, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. That's amazing. And so many people get it wrong, so I'm not even stressed at all. Thank you so much.
It sounds so much sexier than what I thought it was. So we've got
I'm glad.
we've got Megan here. She is an amazing spiritual business coach. She's based in South Africa, and I really wanted to interview her today because she has such an amazing, beautiful story. And I wanted you guys to hear her experience working with me firsthand. And if you guys have any questions as well, then feel free to comment down below, reach out to Megan. If she really resonates with you, then see whether you guys can do something together. But Megan, hi, my love. Thank you so much for being here.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me. So, for everyone watching, this is literally just going to be a video about how amazing Nina is because she completely transformed the entire trajectory of my business in the midst of something that we could probably call a global crisis. So, I'm really Nina's #1 fan at the moment, and I think my results really speak for that.
Thanks, my love. So how would you describe Nina as a person? And what would you say it's like to work with me?
Okay, Nina is like a glass of champagne. She is bubbly. She is definitely the sparkle for the world of sales. And I really think that working with Nina is just incredible. She has so much patience for actually figuring out what is the core of what you do and who you are as a person. So she's always aligning with your values. And that's one of the things that I really loved about working with Nina is that she's not there to impose this rigid framework on you. She really wants to get to know your heart and figure out what works for you, and also give you an incredible method that's going to help you make a serious impact and earn a serious amount of money.
I love that so much. Every time I do these interviews, my cheeks just hurt from smiling. I'm just like, oh, it's so nice to
You're
hear.
so good.
Thanks, my love. So can you share a little bit with everybody about your results before we started working together?
Okay, so before Nina and I started working together, I was a compulsive course taker because I was on a serious mission for answers to actually find a plan to grow my business. And I tried every copy and paste strategy out there, and I just was not seeing the results that I wanted to be seeing. I was seeing minor growth, so I was definitely moving, but I was not moving at the speed that I actually wanted to be.
Amazing. And so what about financially? Where were you at financially before we started working together?
Okay, so financially, I was very much all over the show. I had very little financial consistency in my business because I was so unclear on what it is that I was doing. So I was trying to be the person that did it all for the cheapest possible price. And for this reason, I had so much frustration in my personal life and in my business because I felt like I was working so hard and just still not seeing the results I wanted to be seeing.
And so why did you decide to start working with me?
I want to say that I believe some part of me knew that you were the person for me because I actually saw Nina's Facebook page and I had previously never connected with her. And I had a quick scroll, I had a Facebook stalk, unashamedly. And something about Nina just really resonated with me. And I started to check out her content and I was like, wow, it's so incredible that someone is actually bringing consciousness to something that people normally consider so icky and so sleazy. And that really resonated with me was Nina's ability to take something that a lot of people consider sleazy and bring so much love and consciousness and service into it. And that's when I decided Nina is definitely the person for me.
Oh, I love that. And so what have your results been so far? And how do you
Okay.
feel? How do you feel now?
Okay, so there were literally so many results and so many small wins and so many huge wins that I feel like I would struggle to list them all here. So I'm gonna go over the things that have been most impactful, I think. So #1, Nina gave me the mental clarity that I had been craving for years in terms of the business that I was in, because I am one of those flowy, creative people and I'm a little all over the show and I've really struggled to pick a lane. And I realized after working with Nina that the biggest thing holding me back was my lack of clarity around what I was doing. And Nina literally just helped all of those pieces to fall into place. So the biggest win for me is actually an emotional one. It's the clarity. And it's just the feeling of I can sink fully into my mission and my purpose. And also, I made a boatload of money working with Nina. So, on top of those amazing results, I managed to successfully pivot my business, and I went from attracting South African clients who had really, really low budgets for what they could work with to being able to serve really incredible clients from all around the world at a price point that felt so incredible and so juicy that I'm still in that state of, oh my gosh, is this actually happening to me? This is happening for me, and this is friggin' amazing. And 90% of that is literally thanks to Nina. Absolutely, hands down, just having that accountability and someone to actually say, okay, cool, here's a method that works, but let's see how it works for you and for your business. It's not some copy and paste strategy. So that's really it. I've signed so many new clients. I've become comfortable jumping on sales calls with people, whereas before I was the kind of person who would avoid the phone call because no, I didn't want to speak to you. Please text message me instead. And so as a result, like my entire life has actually opened up where not only has my business grown, but my confidence in myself and my value and what I'm here to share with the world has just increased exponentially. So honestly, working with Nina, hashtag life changing.
Oh, I love that. And so can you share a little bit as well about what you think of sales now? We were talking about this a little bit earlier. How has your perception of sales shifted, and how are you now on these sales calls?
Okay, so I think before sales was something that, number one, initially I didn't actually ever think about. It was something that I just avoided because I was so stuck on the creative delivery in my business that I was completely missing the boat on the fact that that was a skill that I needed to master. And when I did approach sales, I always had this idea that there was always something pushy and always something that didn't quite feel right going on with sales. And I honestly just did not connect with the way that anyone taught sales. And now, I think to sum it up, my personal sort of mantra is that I am in service when I sell. And that shift has literally only occurred because of the way that Nina has actually shown that, you know, when you're in sales, all you're doing is trying to find more people to serve, more people to help, more people to share your gifts with. And that completely, number one, blew my mind, but also seriously, seriously impacted the number of money in my, or listen to me, the number of money, that was terrible, the number of dollar signs in my bank account.
Oh, I love that. And you were talking a little bit about my method. So in your opinion, does Nina's conscious sales method work?
Oh my gosh. Nina, is that even a question? The answer is hell yes. Hell friggin' yes. And if you're a skeptic and you're thinking, well, I'm not so sure about this tick, then I would really, really encourage you to go and download Nina's free guide. She's got a guide to 5 steps to consistent 5-figure months. And this guide has officially become my study Bible for business because it is something that I literally refer back to more than any other book or PDF or anything that I have in terms of information. And that has given me such an incredible roadmap. And it's free content. So let me add that it's free content. You can have Nina's entire life's work in a PDF that's going to teach you how to grow a kick-ass business that's full of soul and takes the sleaze out of sales. So if you are still kind of on the fence, get off the fence, go download the guide, and then go work with Nina.
You're gonna love that. I remember when it's only 5-6 pages long, guys. It's not like 50 pages long. It's not gonna, you don't have an excuse why you can't read it. Megan was like, Nina, there's so much good stuff in here. I'm like, yeah, I've tried to fit in as much as I possibly can in there and as minimal pages as possible. But I do also want to thank Megan for the design work of that document. She's absolutely incredible at the design work she does as well. So thank you for your support in that. So I'd love to know, in your opinion, and I know that our relationship is slightly different, but what were some of the fears and concerns that you have had coming into the relationship with working with me? Even some of the things that came up after we started working together that I know that you moved through in the first month, and how have you moved through these?
Okay, so I think the biggest one for me was fear. And I think a lot of people can relate to this, where I was at the point where something in my heart or my brain at the time was telling me, you need to fix your business and you need to find someone who's a good fit for that. But initially, there was this fear around actually investing in someone who's at a much higher level than you are because there's a big gap to close. And there was almost this aspect of it being a little intimidating where it was like, well, who am I to have a mentor like that? And am I really deserving of having that kind of interaction? And can I also see similar results? Because there is that level of, well, you looking for help because you want help, you want to grow, but there was also that aspect of like, shit, I don't actually know if I can do that. Is that just something she can do? So I think that was something that I worked through, in starting with Nina. And I wish I could just tell myself, like, don't even worry about it, because that fear is literally so small in comparison to the growth and the amazing results you'll have. And like I said earlier, it's not just in your business, it's not just about making money, it's about your personal expansion and really just finding your confidence and finding your thing. So that would be my feedback on when I started working with Nina. And during working with Nina, I had some moments that were really difficult for me because I had to learn that I really needed to stretch past my comfort zone. And obviously, the way that I'd been doing things before was not working for me to get me to where I wanted to go. So there was this initial part where working with Nina, I got some advice that made me so uncomfortable that I thought, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this is what I'm being told to do. And yet I've just seen time and time again all of the amazing results Nina gets for people. And I thought, well, I better just do it. If you want those results, I better just put the fear aside. But I think in my own process, I feel like I could have moved faster, where I just needed that little bit of trust in myself actually to go, you know what? Yes, this is scary, but I'm going to do it anyways. And really, it's only when I actually said, okay, that fear is there. That's great. I'm doing it anyways, that my business actually started to really, really explode and that I was able to get consistent. So if you are thinking that's an issue for you, if you are scared to level up, you know what, you are going to be scared. Everyone that wants to level up is going to be scared, but it is so, so, so worth it.
I love that. And I really honor you. A lot of people, I remember when I was younger and more naive, because I'm sure there's still elements of me being naive now. But I remember, it's so easy to judge other people. It's so easy to look at other people and look at the level of success that they have. But what I've come to realize is the bigger I grow my brand, the more people I serve, the more work it takes, the more energy it takes, the more it takes of me to give. And I've just learned to have such a love and appreciation for the people who are really showing up, which allows me to have such an appreciation for all the other people like yourself that show up and do the work, because we completely understand that this work isn't easy. There's a reason why most people don't pursue their dreams. There's a reason that most people go against the grain of society. But yeah, I really, really honor you in that as well. And so I wanted to know as well, a lot of my clients have access to the Conscious Sales Mastery and the group of girls. And now we have the amazing Haji with us as well. So what is it like being part of a community of other heart-centered entrepreneurs and coaches who are actually taking action and moving their goals forward?
I honestly love that, because for me, it brought a beautiful sense of community into what I was doing as well. Because I think as an entrepreneur, the number one thing that I've struggled with is the fact that it is a lonely road. If you are trying to take everything on your own, you are trying to do everything yourself without help, you are literally carrying a totally unnecessary burden that you can actually have so alleviated if you work with a coach. And I'm just going to jump back on this because I think it's so important, especially during this time in the world. I struggled this year emotionally, mentally, in my business, as many people did. And I wasn't working with a coach to hold me accountable, there were various points during this year where I thought, this is not for me. I'm actually at the point where it's going to be easier for me to pursue a job somewhere else. And thanks to having a coach, I not only broke past that boundary, but also, achieved success beyond what I absolutely thought was possible. And thanks to Nina, I ended up moving into a home that was like 5 times the size of my previous home, in the range of a budget that I could afford. And these are just some of the amazing things you get when you work with a coach. So to answer your question about the group, even better, because there's so many people journeying with you that you get to see you're not alone. Everybody is actually dealing with the same stuff. And this is the stuff you won't see on Facebook. You won't see this on Picture Perfect Instagram, because people want to tell you, here's my yacht and here's my here's my private jet that's probably fake, by the way. And so to get so real and raw with a group of beautiful people was just absolutely incredible, because you feel supported, you feel the momentum of everyone taking action, and you're like, yes, it's safe for me to be successful. So definitely love it.
I love that. And I know that you've connected with Amber as well through my group. And so how has it been to be able to, I'm getting all tongue tied. How has it been to be able to connect with some of the other amazing people in that group as well?
Okay, so I've actually had conversations with quite a lot of people in the group, and it's just been wonderful because I have managed to connect with people I wouldn't have actually had the chance to connect with. And I've really just I've opened my network up to new opportunities, to have conversations with people, to collaborate with people. Because if you are thinking that this is something you're going to build on your own and you're going to be successful on your own, I'm here to tell you it's not going to happen. And what's really amazing is to have that network where you can actually connect with people that are on the same vibration. They're doing conscious business. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that Nina's brought together this beautiful hub of people who are exceptional at what they do, but they are conscious business owners. So you are finding all heart and no sleeves in these connections.
I love that so much. I also love that, you know, the people in the group were so willing to just show up completely. Nina, this is the trouble I'm having. This is the issues I'm having. Everyone's like, oh, I thought you were doing really well. It's like, yes, we're all doing well, but we all still have challenges, and no one pretends to have all their shit sorted, including myself. So it's great that we can be so honest with each other. So Megan, my next question is, so what do you think makes working with me, my programs, courses, my content different to other personal development courses, events, content that you've invested in previously? It could be from the guide, it could be from the masterclass, and it could be from coaching with me.
Okay, so on all three fronts, I would say the biggest thing that makes Nina different is the fact that she is one of those coaches that will deliver everything she has. Okay, so even in the free guide, it's not an upsell. It's a guide that is so jam-packed with incredible information that you could literally scale your business to 5 figures, like Nina promises, in your guide, if you actually follow those steps. It's not fluff. And I think that's the one area in personal development and in business as well, where I've invested in so many courses where they sort of skim. They teach the surface level stuff. They don't teach you what goes on beyond that. And Nina is so prepared to share everything that she's got, that I really think that's why she gets the results that she does. Because number one, she meets you where you are. She's not trying to force you into a mold that you don't want to fit in. She will work with you where you are and your strengths and your weaknesses. And I think that alone sets her apart from everyone else. But the sheer value of what she shares, hands down, has got to be completely what makes her entirely different to any other coach I've worked with.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I do also love to give credit to my mentors, and specifically Brendon Burchard. Like, I always talk about Brendon, and Brendon is the person who I saw speak that made me decide that I was actually here to be a coach, a speaker, and an author. And one of the things that he said to me, which was one of my very first personal development events, he said, you've got to be willing to put your best stuff forward. And, you know, like Megan was just saying, some people are like, they give something away for free. They're like, here's step 1. If you want step 2, 3, 4, and 5, you need to buy. But, you know, if you put your best foot forward and people see how much value you give for free, then they'll be like, oh my gosh, this is free. Imagine if I paid to work with that person. How much more value am I going to get? And really, it's also the law of reciprocity. Whatever we give, we're going to receive back. If you're holding how much you want to give to people, then you're only going to get so much back as well. So I do want to honor Brendon for modeling that for me. But thank you, Megan. I really value that. And so what would you say? Obviously, I know that you'd say that there's quite a few. You can mention a few if you like, but what would you say has been the biggest benefit of working with me?
Okay, so I definitely want to say that it's financial, because as much as I want to say mindset is amazing, and it really is, because Nina's helped me up level my confidence in ways that have impacted my entire life, including my relationship. But the biggest win for me was the financial freedom that Nina has and is helping me still create through all of these amazing things, where I, at a very young age, I'm actually so privileged to stand up and say, I get to do what I love every single day for people who I can help, for people whose lives I can change. I get to work the hours that I want to be working. I'm not confined to a 9 to 5 job anymore. And I have got a bank account that's happy. I'm able to do the things that really sets my soul on fire. And is my life perfect? No. But is it perfect for me? Yes. And that's really my biggest win working with Nina.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I can't stop talking about how happy that makes me. So when you look at your current results, right, compared to a few months ago before we started working together, how long do you think it would have taken you for you to get the results that you have now? For those of you who couldn't see me, could just put a hand over her face. How long do you think it would have taken for you to get to where you are now, result-wise, mindset-wise, with your confidence, if we hadn't have worked together?
That one hit me in the feels because it would have taken years. I'm not even joking. The amount of growth that I've experienced with Nina in the space of a few months is almost like I feel like I've had my business for a whole extra 5 years because of the clarity, because of the way that I'm able to show up professionally. And it's not only in terms of the income that I'm earning, it's the impact I'm having and getting feedback from people to say, how professional you are and how you transform their lives is really why I get up every single day. But Nina's managed to condense an entire process that was getting over your fear, following the conscious sales method to actually make sure that you can sustain yourself. Because essentially, if you're not making an income, you have a really expensive hobby. You don't have a business. And so Nina takes people from I'm a hobbyist to I'm a business owner. And that's really something that is so, so, so priceless, actually. And the amount of years that it would have taken, I feel like that probably would have taken me another 5 years spinning in circles, doing the same thing over and over again, jumping from course to course and trying to figure out what the hell I was doing, because everyone shares pieces of information. But Nina shares an entire roadmap. She doesn't skip steps. She doesn't leave anything out. So you don't at any point ever feel, shit, I don't know what to do next. I have no idea what my next step is. And that's why I think I've seen such amazing results.
And when Megan does say that, we just have another call. She's like, Nina, what do I do next? I'm like, this is what you do. She's like, okay.
And implement the hell out of everything, because initially I think you have to build trust with your coach. There needs to be that level of, I trust you enough to let you take the reins and actually share with me what I need to be doing to grow my business. And as soon as I started to see results, I completely let go of all of my shit. And I was like, I'm just going to put that at the door and I'm going to take on board whatever Nina says and I'm just going to go for it. And I am telling you, you will not regret doing the same thing at all.
I love that. It still surprises me, some of my clients, when they get their first sale or they get the first win, I'm like, what's the biggest thing that you've learned? They're like, to listen to you, to trust you. I'm like, do you not trust me already? Like, no, I did, but now I'm really going to trust you even more. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, Megan, so what would you say to someone who is sitting on the fence? Let's say somebody who's been watching me for a while, someone's consumed quite a bit of my content, or maybe someone just doesn't know that much about me, but they like my vibe. Let's say someone is sitting on the fence. What would you say to them?
I would probably karate kick them off the fence. Like, you just have to make a decision. There actually is no decision. If you are sitting there and you kind of thinking, maybe, my question for you is, do you want to make money doing what you love? Do you want to have fun while you're doing it? Do you want to feel completely supported? Because that was the biggest thing for me, is to actually feel that there was someone outside of me who actually believed in me, who actually believed in what I had to offer, and to have that person hold space for you. So if you answered yes to like any of the above, then just get off the fence, go and do it. Don't waste time, like, at all.
I love that so much. And I'm super, super, super excited. Megan's looking at coming on board as one of my coaches. So if you want double trouble, then definitely connect. We can see how we can serve you guys together. But Megan, thank you so much, my love. Is there any last words that you want to share for anyone and everyone?
I think the last thing that I want to share is that if any part of yourself is saying, I need to grow, I need to do something different, and you feel that tiny call in your heart, do not squash it. Rather listen to it, because you have so much opportunity, so much abundance, and so much possibility on the other side of what you think you can have. And all you need is someone to hold a container and show you the way.
I love that. And for those of you who are like, oh my gosh, I love this woman, she's amazing and she's so funny, please go ahead, follow her. I know she's about to create a Facebook group soon. Go and add her yourself in her Facebook group. She is absolutely extraordinary. And if you want to reach out to me, reach out. I will put the link to my free guide down below, even though I put it everywhere. But one of the things in marketing, as Megan will know, if you put something somewhere once, it is just not good enough. You need to plaster it everywhere. So I will make it super easy for you guys, as you guys want to do with sales. And you want to make sure that you put things down below. So I will make sure that I will also put the link to the guide down below. I will tag Megan in the video for those of you who are watching via Facebook, and you guys can feel free and go and add her. Much love, guys. Megan, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Thank you so much for the work that you are doing in the world. Thank you for being such a beautiful friend and support for me, and for the work that you're doing. It's so well needed. And thank you for being you and shining your light.
Thank you, beautiful Nina. I am so grateful to have met you. And thank you for everyone watching as well. Please, like, if you listen to nothing and the only thing you pull from this video is go and download the guide, just go and do it, please. That's my last piece of information. I'm ready to go now.
All right, bye guys. Chat to you soon.